It is so strange. The more and more we see this flashback, the more and more I'm actually beginning to hate the goddess clan. I mean, I have never. They rival the demons in arrogance. I have never ever seen such arrogance, and I'm actually a bit mad. I'm still mad at how are we portraying. Why are you portraying the demons in a sympathetic light when the goddess ones are the one in a negative light? And I actually need to know. Just why is the goddess clan like this? Is it just simply because they are divine and arrogant? Is it simply because of that? Either way, I gotta say, for being archangels, these goddesses do not exactly look angel-like. Something tells me this war has been nothing but. I think this war has been nothing but a racism war, and they did not care about any other sacrifice. And that ending, is that another hint of something else? I'll get to that in a minute. Yes, I am talking about Nanatsu no Taizai, 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 205. And the goddess kind of surrounds the unconscious Elizabeth goddess in an arc. How they seem to be mad at them for doing that, although they also says they are the ones to be angry here, so I don't exactly know what that means. Does it mean that they're angry that Elizabeth stopped them from killing everyone, or are they saying that because she's a goddess? I'm still a bit confused. Why is Elizabeth, the goddess Elizabeth, called Lady Elizabeth? Are you telling me she's above all the other archangels? I think there was someone read the more wings any goddess have, the more of it is a meant rank. And goddess Elizabeth has 4. Well, either way, 2 of the 4 archangels surrounds, which actually means isn't there just one left? And they are just as arrogant and cruel as Luciel. And they seems to be a kind of guys that actually made a bet on trapping every one of these demons. The one, and luckily we hear their names. The one is surprisingly a kid. Well, not surprisingly, but it's disgusting nonetheless. He has a childlike body who is called Sariel. The other one, I have to say, that's the biggest surprise of it all. That doesn't even look like a goddess. I mean, it's a god, whatever. I mean, goddess clan, I don't exactly know what they call that. I mean, it's no longer a only female race. Either way, that one doesn't exactly look like an angel. Although technically, I think his character is a note to Ashra, isn't it? That you know that God with 3 heads and 3 limbs of everyone from legs and hands. Either way, this one demon is called Tarmiel, and he has an old man's face, a young man's face, and just a middle-aged face with fangs. They are teaming this casually as they create an Omega arc that destroys all the different armies of the demon clan, and ironically calls this, "O defiled souls, let the light of justice smite thee." But the Ten Commandments escape, and they begins to attack all the 4 archangels. And now we're getting confirmations, uh, as Moonspieto said a long time ago. If that were one of the 4 archangels, you would have been in more trouble. And now we actually see what it is. As Derer punches Tarmiel, and Moonspiet firing a purgatory flame bird um, at Sariel, it surprisingly does very little damage to them, even though Derer does a combo over 18 and over. Instead, even though Derer managed to punch that guy 54 times, he still walks it off and heals himself very quickly. Wait a moment. How much did Meliodas take? I thought Moonspiet said only he survived the 50 and over, but then again, maybe Moonspiet didn't see this. Either way, it's clear that this Tarmiel guy actually has an extremely strong healing factor. No matter how much it punches him or slashes him. By the way, we see Galen again for the first time in ever. He has heals. And the brat, Sariel, he seems to think this is a game. Not even the Flamebirds, nor even Fraudrin, who now have his gigantic sides, can fight this guy. As later on, Luciel decides to accompany in the battle, but only because they considered it the fact that they only took out the grunts and not the Ten Commandments. So he tells Nero Basta she needs to guard us with the last breath because they need to get uh, reinforcements from the heavens, which actually implies that the goddess clan actually cannot exist on a physical plane. They need a gate in order to get down. Only the four archangels are the only ones who can get down from that one. However, as soon as he leaves, he comes back and says something like, "We need reinforcements after all. We are up against the Ten Commandments after all." Only to turn out that that is not what it is. No, it is actually Gother who has appeared, managed to fire an arrow into Nero Basta, and says that she needs to open the gate to call for reinforcements. Although Ludiusel said that she needed to guard his gate with her very life and make sure it wasn't be destroyed because it did everything will not turn in their favor. Well, now it is. Just like this, it's not gonna go well. I'm actually a bit wondering though, is this Gother the same, the Ten Commandment Gother? Or is this just a Gother that lost everything? I mean, he still talks emotionlessly. Gotta say, Gother is one of those characters I mostly is so angry about. Not because of all his immoral actions, after all he doesn't understand them, but mostly because I just don't understand him. And I'm not talking about all his immoral actions, I'm more talking about the fact that why did Demon Gopher break his commandment? All in all, from every single words from the Seven Deadly Sins Commander Gother seems to imply that he did it willingly because he really wanted to know how it felt like to have a heart. But as a demon who didn't understand that, he decided to start anew. That seems to be the implication. But I'm not so sure. So I'm just asking, is this the same demon Gother that was from the Ten Commandments? The Ten Commandments Gother the selfless, so to speak. Because now he has infiltrated the Stigma headquarters and is gonna get up to heavens, where they obviously are going to create mayhem. All in all, who knows? We saw nothing of Meliodas this time, but as I said before, the goddess clan, oh man, I mean, they are not divine at all. They're just as bloodthirsty as the demons that they claim to hate. So I'm actually beginning to wonder, just what is what? No. How come this war actually happened? I mean, I really need to get that answer now. At the beginning, I just thought it simply was a good versus evil, but it's clear it's not. It's evil versus evil. Then again, I'm actually beginning to wonder whose side is really evil. Don't get me wrong, the demons are not to be sympathetic. They are evil. But the goddess clan are not exactly good either. It seems to imply that the only good people were the giants and the fairies, although that's to be talked about, and humans. So in all, this is one of Nanatsu no Taizai's strongest and weakest points. Is usually have a point that no one is purely good. Humans in the manga are selfish and extremely greedy and power hungry by nature. That we've seen many times. Fairies are noted to be very lazy and antisocial in their behaviors, which also hints that they have grown weaker. Giants are battle-loving, and due to that they are extinct almost now. They are killing themselves. Demons have shown a degree of arrogance and extreme bloodthirsty, then killing a lot of innocent people and showing immense rage. But now the goddess clan have shown arrogance and divine arrogance that only seems to keep themselves in the highest rank. So I'm actually beginning to wonder, just why did this war happen? Is it just simply out of racism? Eternal question. All in all, I did not expect the four archangels to be this one. But given the way Luduciel says, I'm actually beginning to wonder if we have already seen the fourth. Wouldn't it be surprising if Elizabeth turned out to be the fourth archangel? But nah, I doubt it. All in all, It's a bit shameful that every single goddess is just as corrupt as the demons, and Elizabeth is the only one who wasn't. Wonder why. So give me your thoughts if you have any.